This year, like every year, we take RockChalk out of the water for the winter, keep her safe up on the hard. And like every other year, we'll do the obligatory wash, compound, wax, and bottom paint. But differently this year, I don't really want to focus on that. I want to focus on the smart boat. Now, at the heart of this is an idea fostered by Rob over at the Smart Boat Innovations YouTube channel. This is not an attempt to sort of piggyback or swipe his ideas, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the setup and configuration. For that, go over to Rob's channel, give him a big thumbs up, and be a subscriber and help another small content creator. Here we see some of the core items that I'm going to use for the smart boat upgrade. Up at the top, you see a Starlink that will provide connectivity regardless of location. Also, we have some of the sensors that will be used, camera, mounting for Starlink equipment, miscellaneous wiring, a black box that contains an ESP32 to gather engine data, and other various items that are going to be required to start setting this up. For my setup, I will be using a Raspberry Pi 4. Actually, I'll be using two of them. One to run the smart home system on, and another one to run OpenCPN, which is open source navigation. The Raspberry Pi will also run on open source software. The smart home / smart boat software that I'll be using will be Home Assistant. This is an open source software. It's really big in the smart home world. It allows a lot of customization and has a lot of different devices and entities that you can use in it. So this is what we'll be using for the smart boat. For a navigation portion, which is going to run on a separate Raspberry Pi, I'm using OpenCPN. This is also an open source, free to use navigation system. It has a Signal K server, more on that later, but it allows you to integrate your NEMA 2000 instances and items into that, and that'll become part of this too. Now this is my initial mock-up where I'm going to mount my equipment for the smart boat. Coming in here, you see the feed posts for the 12-volt dedicated circuit. Off of that is the 12-volt fuse block. Over here you see the 12-volt to 5-volt converter and the 5-volt bus bar. Coming off of that, I have a siren, USB powered, and one of the Raspberry Pis. Now on the other side here, coming off the 12-volt fuse block, is the AC to DC inverter, which is for the Starlink router and the Starlink PoE. This was my first time through, and it's going to have some more iterations, and I'll show you the final solution next vlog. So here we have the final product. Moving from left to right, we have the Raspberry Pi that's running the smart home software. A little bit up to that and to the right is the Raspberry Pi running navigation software. Right next to that is a little board for checking and charging lithium-ion batteries. Below that is the Starlink with the router and the PoE injector. To the right of that is the inverter to run the Starlink from 12-volt supply. Above that is a little connection there. That is for the weather fax that runs off the Raspberry Pi with the navigation software. Next to that, behind the screen, the mount for the monitor, is the siren for warnings from the smart home device. Below that is the 12-volt fuse block. Below that is your positive negative feeds to supply power from the battery bank. Next to that is the 12-volt to 5-volt converter that runs up the top there to the distribution block for that. And we have a 12 volt to 9 volt converter to run the control board for the weather facts. So that's how everything is mounted up. So here we have all the sensors that are go on to the boat. Up on top, we've got cameras. Below that, I have temperature and vibration sensors that are going to go for each compressor and refrigerator box. A Shelly 1 relay that I'm going to use for the anchor light, so that the anchor light will come on and off at sundown and sunup. 3 smoke detectors, one for forward, one for aft, and one in the engine room. A remote button, I haven't figured out what I'm going to use that for. An alarm. Door sensors that will go on each companionway in the engine room. And some miscellaneous items to install them all. Here's a quick close-up of the Raspberry Pi. Up on top you can see the ASI board along with the clear acrylic case holding it all in. And then on the side here we have the power button, and on the bottom you can see the SSD where the operating system is at. I wanted to change things up this week and sign off from the boat. For all of you that watched all the way through the video, big thumbs up. And I want to give another shout out to Rob out there at Smart Boat Innovations. Thanks so much for all your help. Also, tune into the next vlog where I'm going to take you through actual installation on the boats, problems I had, the things I learned. It should be a great adventure. So peace and fair winds, and we'll see you in the next vlog.